What is up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Gab, the Sultan of Santo here, with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Mawiap, and the master of the mustache, Mr. Sam Santos. Again, I will be the host today because Mr. Sam Santos feeling a little bit under the weather, and
Ingat kayong
the
lahat
Lakers
yan.
lost. Just want to get that out of the way. I think my cap. Malas ata yung cap ko. So, I changed it. Don't worry to all my fellow Lakers fans. Let's hope that game 4 tomorrow, they will tie the series up. I was so
Sinisisi ka na, bro! Sa comments.
May isa nagsisi na sa akin. Sabi,
Galit na eh.
Yung Lakers, eh. But, I mean, I'm also pretty sad. I mean, I'm hoping for a tied series tomorrow. So, sana. Swerte. But today, maraming news ang nangyari nung nasa Los Angeles ako, and we couldn't do an episode because I was always out and on the move and we were all busy. So now we're gonna do a little bit of a news recap of all the news that came our way, you know. And to do that, we're bringing back the shock meter from our Luka Doncic episode. So let me just explain the shock meter and how we do it. So for each piece of news, we will rate it. The highest rating that we can give based on the shock meter is holy shit! That type of shock. In short, Luka Doncic trade levels of shock. So yun na yung, I think yun na yung natin eh. Yun na yung ceiling natin. Yun na yung baseline natin for what constitutes a holy shit type of
Wala na sigurong lalampas pa dun.
Wala na. Unless
Dallas does something.
Or unless in the UAAP biglang lumipat si Francis Lopez somewhere else, some other school, diba? What? Diba? Yung something like that. The next level is a wow. Wow. Okay? The third level is a whoa. Parang sort of shocking lang. And the last level is meh. It's meh. We're not so shocked about it. All right? So let's get to it. Our first piece of news, perhaps the most recent one, Reiner Maga from the UE Red Warriors deciding to leave and not play in season 8-8. He has not announced where he's gonna play next, whether it's pro, whether it's the NCAA, or whether it's another UAAP team. He's already 23 years old. And I think that contributes to how much shock we're gonna experience from this departure. Let's go with Maui first. Ano yung reaction mo to the Reiner Maga departure?
Wow! For UE, di ba? Hindi naman wholly as wow lang. But this is crazy. Di ba? Kasi I think if you're tuning into the other podcast, shout out to si Navs, our friend Navs. I think he interviewed Chris Gavina, di ba? And he mentioned Reiner Maga as one of the players to watch out for season 88, di ba? So, it's a bit surprising to me kasi yung opportunity that Maga will get for season 88, now playing for a new coach, saka yung age. Di ba? As Gab mentioned, he's 22, 23 years old. I think if he transfers to another UAAP school, it's gonna be only 1 year eligibility left for Maga because of his age. If he transfers to the NCAA, maybe 2. I don't know. But it's crazy. Diba? Si Gab was already hyping us probably the next Remoga type of player.
My curse. The curse continues.
The curse continues. Diba? He was part of the top guards of Gab. I think shooting guards. Wings. Wings kasi we classified him as a shooting guard. You could argue he could be a point guard or a shooting guard. But without a doubt, he would have been a big impact player for UE come season 88. So this is wow for me. I don't know. It's scary for UE. They started naman na they've been playing naman in preseason tournament, so it's a bit surprising. I think what contributed to the wow factor was the time the news was broken, diba? It was a very odd time. I think midnight when Navs or
yeah.
yung yung Instagram post ba ni Reiner Maga thanking the UE community. But I don't know what the next step is. I don't know what the best step is for Maga. Maybe he needs to go pro and earn some money. Hopefully, wherever he lands, he gets. I don't know if he's gonna get the same opportunity he would have gotten with UE, but I guess more opportunities for players like Molintapang, Abate, and maybe Lingo. I don't know. They will have to share the rock for next season. Losing a guy like Maga. Sam.
I agree, no, dun sa yung timing din nung announcement was shocking, but I'm going holy shit with this one. Holy shit, Luka Doncic levels
Okay.
shock. Sa akin kasi mamaya we'll talk about the other news, 'di ba? And yung iba kasi parang you sort of there's evidence na okay, may reason naman why people would leave or why they would do that, diba? With this one, I don't think any one of us expected this to happen. Sabi mo nga, Mau, his coach was praising him. Gab put him in the top point guards of UE. Yung curse talaga ni Gab, no? Yung lists ni Gab. And I was going to say that then, Maui, yung timing nung pag-post. Alam mo, it caught everyone off guard. Even Navs was not able to prepare a social media graphic with a breaking news tagline. Diba? Shout out to Navs.
Si Navs said parang, what?
What? So, ano pinost ni Navs? It was a screenshot of Reiner Maga's post, di ba? So, kahit si Navs was not expecting it. Alam naman natin si Navs, like either may social media graphic siya or he has an article waiting. Okay, breaking news. Koji Buenaflor has decided to join UST. Ito hindi, screenshot lang. So I think kahit si Navs was just taken aback by what happened and nagulat siya. And we all said he's going to be a star for UE this coming season. Hindi naman tayo nag-disagree with Gab. So for me, it was a huge shock. And if you read what he said, what he posted, parang very emotional You can see na it was really an emotional post for him and yung timing nga, sabi mo, Maui.
I think his words were, this is not what, parang, my heart is telling me no, but my mind is telling me yes. Something like that,
right? Diba? Something, yeah. So for me, I think he did not expect this. Even Reiner Maga did not expect this. I think there's more to this story. We just don't know why he left. Maybe we'll find out soon or by the time we post this, baka may malaman na tayo. But I think there's something more to this story. So kahit si Maga did not expect this, feel ko. So that's why I'm putting it at the Luka Doncic level na kahit yung si Maga mismo, the player mismo, did not expect this would happen.
Okay, hindi naman ako holy shit yung levels to this news, no? I'm with Maui. I'm wow. When I saw you guys, you posted the picture, I'm like, wow, he's leaving UE at 23. So, kahit na mag-NCAA siya, Maui, 1 year na lang ata siya because he'll have to sit out a year.
Because of the age, no?
And so regardless of where he goes in college, he'll have 1 year left to play.
Half sem na lang. Ang NCAA, di ba? Yan ang incentive nila.
Oo nga pala. So, yeah, very unexpected. Yung sabi mo nga, he already had a big role in UE. Remember in the second half of season 87, the second round, the ball was in his hands nearly all the time. Siguro siya lang or si John Abate or si Jack Cruz Dumont yung nag-handle ng bola for most of the possessions. But he had the ball a lot of the time, diba? His role expanded. He was expected to be one of the top playmaking options, top offensive options for UE this coming season. And sabi nyo nga, his coach has been talking him up. And his coach has been saying very positive things about him in the preseason games in Asia Basket. He's been playing a ton of minutes. He's been having a ton of usage. This, I don't know. He must have, and sabi nga ng post niya, he didn't want to leave. So, I don't know. There must be something. So, depending on where he goes, it will tell a lot. I mean, if he goes to another UAAP school, I guess you could read between the lines what was offered to him. If he goes to the NCAA, I guess you could also read between the lines what was offered to him there. Diba? But if he goes pro, I think that's a no-brainer. He definitely wants to earn more. But it said in the article, both in Tiebreaker and in Spin, that he's looking to another UAAP school as his destination, diba? He's possibly looking to another UAAP school. So, shocking. This is ibang klase. Ang malas ng UE, if I may say so myself. For the first time in 3 or 4 seasons, they have kept their the core of their team. Remember, since season 84, palagi umaalis yung core ng team nila. Remember, season 84, a lot of them left. Then season 85, sila Paranada, sila Gani Stevens, they left after 1 season. Tapos si Remogat came. Tapos ang dami umalis. Si Remogat plus the other role players left. Diba? This is the first time that they're actually keeping their core players together. And then Maga leaves. Ang sakit for UE. They're definitely losers here. They lose a great rotational player, a possible star player for season 88. I'm sorry for including him on the list to the UE community. I'm really sorry. He was not supposed to be on the list, but I put him there as a hot take kind of inclusion. Now I regret it for the UE community. I'm really, really sorry for putting him there. But clear winners for this trade, and it was very fortunate that we got to watch UE yesterday play against Ateneo because we got a sneak peek, a preview of how the rotation was going to look like for season 88. Immediate winners, definitely John Abate and Nico Mulingtapang. Just look at the departures from last season. Jack Cruz Dumont is not there anymore. Gerard Wilson has graduated, and now si Reiner Maga. All 3 of those guys are high usage ball handlers, playmakers. All 3 of them. They had the ball in their hands a ton of the possessions. Whether they were starting or coming off the bench. Now all 3 of those guys are gone. The only guards who played rotational minutes last season that are in the roster for this season are Nico Molingtapang and John Abate. They're gonna have free runway for minutes. They're gonna have the ball in their hands all of the time. I expect that Molingtapang is gonna take a big leap. John Abate is probably not gonna ride the bench for majority of the time in games, unlike the second round of season 87 where he was benched for majority of the games. I no idea why, but yeah, clear winners for si Nico Molingtapang and John Abate. And to a lesser extent, we saw a guy like Cleves Fong who took over backup point guard minutes. Yung kami ni Sammy were like, what? Who?
The who?
Fong. And then we had to search for him. Oh, he was already recruited last season. He was already playing in the preseason. Cleves Fong, a very, very unique name. But yeah, he's now the backup point guard. He's a small guard, but he's now the backup point guard. I expect we'll see a lot of sila guys like Kian Spandonis and whoever else that may mahugot nila yung from their best. But yeah, sad for UE, good for their other rotational players, and wow, I'm interested to see where Reiner Maga goes. Anything else, guys, before we move on to our next one?
Yeah, speaking of like where Reiner Maga would go, meron, like if it's a UAAP team, meron ba kayong UAAP team in mind? Like UP ba? Because all UE players that leave go to UP. UP needs a guard next season. Like they're going to lose a bunch of guards next season. So I'm thinking like UP could be a potential landing spot.
Alam mo, kung mag-UP si Reiner Maga.
Magwawala na yung UE, no?
I think the UE community are siguro yung magwelga sila sa labas ng UP Diliman campus. Parang, why the hell do you keep on taking our basketball players, man? I mean, kung mag-UE siya, that would be crazy. But, as you said, Sammy, he does fill a position of need for his season 89 for the UP Fighting Maroons. So I won't be surprised. But that would be crazy. They have essentially gutted the UE roster for the past couple of seasons already, especially with the departure of Reiner Maga and now si Reiner Maga. Oh, grabe. But yeah, other than UP, I would say
UST?
UST,
Wala na si
possibly.
Fortsky.
Kasi,
Yeah.
Mau, you're on mute, so if you want to say something.
Yeah, I agree. UST, I think, is a possible destination, diba? It makes sense. Makes more sense kasi, I don't know, man, if he transfers to a team like UP or LaSalle or even Ateneo, you don't have the guaranteed minutes that you would have gotten, diba, with UE. So, and you have one playing year, diba? Everything, he has to, kumbaga, he's going all in for next season, whether it's gonna be an NCAA or UAAP team that could dictate the trajectory of his career. So, obviously, he shouldn't go to LaSalle. Diba? Just call Matthew Rubico.
Definitely not.
Diba? But
Just call Matthew Rubico. Papag-usapan natin yan mamaya.
UST is probably one of the destinations. NU has a lot of guards. So, I don't know. Adamson has some guards. So, it's probably the destination that makes a lot more sense. And maybe if you're talking about some monetary rewards, then maybe it has to be UST if ever. But we'll see. So far, there's more to the story than we know, diba? As you guys mentioned, crazy to think that I think nobody's untouchable talaga ngayon sa UAAP, and it begs the thing I want to say is it begs the question, why do we have a residency rule if this is not being prevented, diba? If it's gonna happen again to a rising star, knock also to VJ Pre, if he does indeed transfer to another school, what's the point of the rule, diba? It's just hampering.
Exactly.
It's hampering. Diba? It's hampering the players that should or that need to transfer, not those that want to or have that choice to go to another destination because of, as we all know, probably a better package, diba? So, yun lang.
Yeah, I was saying, I was thinking the same thing, diba? There were a ton of rumors the past couple of weeks surrounding VJ Pre, and one of my first thoughts was what Maui said. What's the point then of the residency rule? This was the reason why they implemented this. We talked about this last year, diba? The timing of when they decided to make the residency rule came in the wake of the Remogat and the Baclaan transfer, which really spurred this discussion and implementation. But now, and we talked about this, if you're really a star player, you're not gonna care if your last 2 years. You only need a few years to prove yourself in the UAAP. And if Reiner Maga stays for one more season, that's true. He only needs 1 year so to show his wares. I mean, he's a really good player. We've all seen him play. So, yun din, that's my thought again. But now we go to some transfers that maybe were not so shocking as the Reiner Maga one. I guess we can combine them together. Alex Konov and Matthew Rubico. Guys who we've talked about for endless episodes already have finally left the De La Salle Green Archers. They finally saw the writing on the wall.
Nauntog na.
So, yung someone smacked them on their butts or on their heads, sabi, hoy, baka gusto nyo pag-isipan muna yung basketball careers nyo, diba? So, now they have officially left LaSalle. Si Konov is going back to the United States to pursue college basketball there. Si Matthew Rubico has not announced where he's gonna play, but both have left LaSalle already. saw the minutes they were not getting in the preseason. So, what was your shock meter on this? Sammy, let's go to you. These two players leaving De La Salle.
Ano yung before wow? What's like
Whoa.
a level? Wow. Okay, yun. So ako, wow. Okay, ganyan. Not so shocked with this one. We've talked about them a lot. These two guys are hyped and talented, supposedly talented players, 'di ba? Grabe yung hype or kay Alex Konov, nag-aagawan yung mga teams. We talked about like which team should Alex Konov go to, 'di ba? We even had a segment for him.
We had an episode
Diba?
about him.
We had an episode to talk about like the team that he should go to. So there was so much hype surrounding Alex Konov. So we had to do an episode. But he didn't get to play nung first year niya, and looking at the team of LaSalle, he probably might not get to play this year too. So I think just makes sense for him to go back to the United States, especially if it was like if he has good offers in the United States. I do feel bad because I wanted to see what Alex Konov can do. I was also hyped by Alex Konov. Sana lang kasi nakinig siya sa Boleros. Kasi kung nakinig siya sa Boleros, then baka naging star siya nung rookie season pa lang niya, 'di ba? Alex Konov, manood ka kasi ng Boleros. Ayusin mo naman, 'di ba? Matthew Rubico, how long has he been with LaSalle? I also feel bad for this guy, but he made the smart move. He should have, sa totoo lang, he should have probably left earlier. When he heard that Jacob Cortez and Kian Baclan were going to join them this coming season, just talk to more alo, diba? So I feel bad for this guy because we barely got to watch him last year, although he got minutes nung championship series nila. But people were really hyped about Matthew Rubico. One of the guys that people love to comment about, like, guys, wait for Matthew Rubico. Sobrang galing yan. He's going to be a star. I see that comment all the time whenever we talk about him or LaSalle. So I think it's, if he wants to show how good he is, he should go. And I think late na. He should have left last season pa lang para at least
Agree.
makapaglaro na siya this coming season, diba? But finally, he has made that decision. So parang wow, ganun lang for me. Not so shocking the two compared to si Reiner Maga, 'di ba? Like Reiner Maga had no reason to leave. These guys had every reason to leave, or you can see it. The writing was on the wall. So not so shocking for me.
Maui.
Yeah, actually kay Reiner Maga pa rin nasa isip. Actually yung kay Matthew Rubico, it was really a meh for me, 'di ba? Kasi how can you compete with two of the best point guards, 'di ba, in the country? And they have multiple playing years, I think, left with LaSalle, 'di ba? So it would have been crazy, 'di ba? Si More Allowed did, I guess I can't say he did a good decision kasi palipat-lipat siya but finally landed somewhere. But I think Matthew Rubico should have, much like Sammy, I agree, Matthew Rubico should have decided to do this even before this season, 'di ba? Maybe he bet on himself, 'di ba? Kasi very fluid pa yung point guard rotation ng LaSalle last season as we saw, 'di ba? Until the end. They really had to I mean, they used different point guards at different times. So maybe he was expecting, or maybe he wanted to try to prove himself. But yeah, at the end of the day, 'di ba, after one season, even if he had a monster final series, even if he had a good season, I do not think that he would have gotten minutes, 'di ba? Come season 88, 'di ba? With Baclaan and Cortez. These two guys are top tier point guards, 'di ba? There's a reason why LaSalle is still the top contender despite losing Kevin Cambao, diba? And it's not just Mason Amos, it's basically these two guys, what they bring to the table with Mike Phillips. But with Alex Konov, it's a different story for me. I guess with all the hype, my reaction is a bit in the middle of wow and woe. I'm shocked because he decided to go back to the US, diba? Kasi one of the reasons why I think he decided to go here is because the offers in the US were not as lucrative, or not as I don't want to say lucrative kasi it sounds all about money, diba? But it wasn't as attractive as the offer here in the Philippines, diba? Maybe training with Lasal could be better than training for a Div 2 or Div 3 team in the US. Maybe shocks us with
That's
a
a good
Div 1
point.
offer, diba? But if it's a low major Div 1, then you could make the argument. But, diba, you saw him with Mason Amos, diba? I mean, people compare him to Mason Amos, and people are saying he's a Mason Amos light, diba? And Amos is gonna play 2 more seasons for LaSalle, and then by that time it's gonna be his 4th or 5th season. Who knows what LaSalle would recruit? Who knows what Pablo might be during that time, diba? So maybe he's making the right decision. Maybe he's being proactive and finally deciding maybe this is not the right route. But my reaction was whoa and wow, because he decided to go back to the US instead of maybe trying out for an NCAA team, or maybe transferring to another UAAP school. Diba? Kasi as you mentioned, other schools would have been able to utilize his talents more than LaSalle did. It's one of the reasons why we did an episode where we think he would end up and where we think he should end up or decide to go. So, sorry to say, he's going back to the US. Hopefully, he gets the reps he needs. Hopefully, he gets the training he needs to. Kasi Gilas, this guy is eligible for Gilas, diba? We always say that on the show. We value more players who are eligible for Gilas kasi we also are big fans of the national team. Whether we play shit or we play good, we will have endless support, diba, for the national team. So maybe this is the right move for Konov. Hopefully he still pans out, diba? He has a ton of potential, he has good sides. So yeah. Gab.
Yeah, ako both meh lang sa akin tong both news of Konov and Rubico, because I honestly expected them to transfer, and if they didn't, I honestly thought that they would have been stupid to stay in LaSalle, because especially after that preseason game against Ateneo, LaSalle played their season 88 through rotation and none of them saw any minutes. So yun para sa akin was
Good point.
a big indicator already that, hey, for next season, the two of you guys are not playing. Despite, as Sammy said, you for Matthew Rubico, a lot of LaSalle fans ngayon nag-hype up kay Matthew Rubico eh. Yun, diba? Yun yung mas yung nakagago that LaSalle had quote-unquote point guard problems after the departure of Evanelli, and LaSalle fans were saying, watch out for Matthew Rubico. He's gonna come in. He's probably gonna get some minutes. He did, but not enough to prove himself that he was worthy to get minutes for season 88. So I think the NCAA would be a better destination for him, because yun nga, less years deducted, you will have more time to play. He's generally essentially he has not played seniors basketball much. You know, it was a pretty low minute bench player for LaSalle yung last season. So I do hope he transfers to the NCAA. He'll have more opportunity there. Maybe go back to Lyceum and play there. I do wish him well. I did see him play for games in the preseason and some in the UAP. I do think he's really talented. So I do wish him well. But yeah, he was not ever gonna get any minutes with Baclaan there, Cortez. Even si Makalalag shares some guard minutes. Si Goliena, si Dungo shares some guard minutes. Wala talaga. I think LaSalle fans cannot be angry at us for calling Matthew Rubico a possible candidate for transferring, because I think they can see it as well that he's not getting minutes. So I don't think they're hurt or angry over this. The guy is just looking out for his own basketball career. For Alex Konov, he's a good case study of maybe hindsight and may halo na ring malas. because I was looking back at our episodes and the timeline of his commitment to LaSalle. He committed, then Mason Amos transferred, and then Junel Policarpio left. So it seemed like a good move, diba? Parang, okay, there's some minutes behind possibly you Policarpio and Kiambao. LaSalle does need shooting. Maybe he could get some. Sabi ka natin, we don't know if Kevin Kiambao will stay yung after season 87. Sabi natin kay Alex Konov, might be a good move, although we did like yung other schools for him over LaSalle. But then si Mason Amos transferred and we're like, Alex Konov is screwed. We were just talking about him and Mason Amos being the same player, and the guy who is...
That's why we didn't want him to go to Ateneo, remember?
Yeah,
Kasi
diba?
may overlap sila ni Amos.
Diba? Yun nga, diba? And now Mason Amos is on his team, and then si Policarpio left, so maybe some minutes open there, but the writing was on the wall again for Alex Konov. He was not getting any minutes. Even in the preseason, even in games na tabak yung kalaban so far in the preseason, he has not been getting minutes. So he has been in the doghouse of whether it's Coach Topex Robinson, whether it's Coach Oliver Bunyi, whether it's Coach Rod Nazario, whoever coach it was calling the shots on the sidelines, he was not getting any playing time. So, yeah, but same with Maui. I was a bit surprised that he went to the United States. When he came here to the Philippines, it was mentioned that the offers from the US were a bit underwhelming. So now that he hasn't played in the Philippines, what better offers are you getting in the United States? You didn't get minutes here.
That's a good point.
How was your stock raised that suddenly you're getting offers from other US schools, diba? You didn't get to play in the Philippines. So I don't know. I thought it would have been better if it transferred to the NCAA or to another UAAP school. We talk about teams like Adamson who values shooting a lot. They shoot a lot of threes. Konov's a shooter. Their front court depth is very shallow. Talk about FEU whose bench is non-existent. Maybe he could have transferred there. UE, whose roster seems to be always in flux. Front court depth, very shallow as well. There were a lot of sa UST, yung with his buddy, Zayn Mahmoud, diba? Front court depth, also very shallow. There were a lot of situations. Oh, go Sam.
Honestly, from like last season, Gab, any school except LaSalle or UP, he would have probably played. Diba? Like, if you think about it.
Diba? So, he's also a good case study of choosing the right school. Diba? I really thought that when he chose LaSalle, I'm like, oh, it's probably just a really good offer because basketball-wise, it did not make sense because he was gonna be a bench player. He was playing behind the reigning MVP in Kevin Kiambao. There was Jonel Policarpio. Luis Pablo had already transferred to LaSalle by then. So, maraming competition for minutes. So, basketball-wise, I don't think it was very smart for Alex Konov yung at that point. But, again, I'm trying to go winners and losers. Does this hurt LaSalle, these two players? Not in the slightest bit. I don't think they're
Wa-epic!
Oh,
Epic kayo, no?
I don't think they would the championship chances would hurt very much if whether these two guys stayed or transferred. LaSalle is a contender. They're still up there with UP. It actually, I don't know if it benefits anyone. Maybe a guy like Justin Benaventura who's in TV's Ethan Alian, you might get some a few guard minutes behind the stacked perimeter rotation of LaSalle. Or just Justin Benaventura might make the roster, diba? Maybe a guy like Santi Romero can finally break into the main roster of LaSalle. So, who knows? but those are the only things that I can see the who benefits from their departure. They weren't really playing much, so really, who cares if you're a LaSalle fan? Okay, maybe our last bit of news for this episode: UST with some big news. Koji Benaflor and his fellow UST Tiger Cubs committing to the seniors rank also to UST. It's Benaflor, si Boksit, si Manding, and I think his best friend si Alfred Loreto who was not able to play in the juniors in the boys tournament due to having brain surgery, but apparently he's back. He's gonna play for UST. He's also a big, and they also recruited a Phil Canadian and Caden Valdez. Shout out to Navs for breaking that piece of news. But your reaction, let's go to Maui first. Your shock meter for this piece of news for the UST Growling Tigers.
Siguro wow lang. Maybe very good that they were able to keep a ton of the pieces that they trained. Especially si Benaflor. I think he's the gem in this group of guys. But you can see the trend in the UAAP. Diba? I think schools are starting to really prioritize yung juniors division nila and making sure that these guys get to the seniors division. Diba? Whether they make the team A, it's becoming like the early, I think nung time natin guys, nung mid 20, before the 2010s. Diba? Kasi when recruiting wars was getting heated during that time of sila Buenafe, Salva, and everyone from all the other schools, all of the coaches in the seniors division prioritize yung juniors division nila, diba? I think that's when it really started to happen, diba? Kasi when you need to spend a lot of money with one prospect, you have to manage, diba, where you can get your talents, diba? And the easiest way to harness and the easiest way to convince and to get them to the seniors division, plus having that extra motivation that they've been done in your school colors, is the juniors division. Diba? That happens. This is a cycle in the UAAP. So I think we called it early on, diba? When we were watching the juniors playoffs, I think 2 or 3 seasons ago. The head coaches were in the game. They were behind the bench. They were on the bench. So I think this is that, diba? Coupled with Adamson, I think going 7 for 7. I think this is it. UAAP teams are starting to prioritize talaga yung juniors division nila. FPU is at the forefront of this. Hopefully they don't lose their most prized gem, VJ Pre.
I think NU you must at the forefront pa. Well, they lost theirs to UP, but yeah, they've been developing a ton of juniors talents. Anyway,
they've had the best program, but they've been losing talent. But they've been getting talent also to stay right now. So let's see how it plays out with the Kowe. But I think this is the current trend in the UAAP. A lot of players will decide to not just prioritize this. Diba? Kasi with all the transfers, with the residency rules, you have to really look at, prioritize yung 5 playing years mo. You have to look at your future. You have to look at your coach. You have to look at, will I get the opportunity to play? Diba? Kasi at the end of the day, you get all the benefits at the end, but what will happen? Diba? Even if you're a top prospect, just ask players like Matthew Rubico. Diba? Players like Moore Alao. Players, a ton of players transferring to the NCAA, or even sila Alex Konov who decided to go back to the US. Diba? I'm mentioning a lot of LaSalle players kasi that's what we just talked about, but it's a current trend. Diba? Players have to decide better. Players have to look at future, what's the plans of the team for me in the future, and I'm happy that they were able to keep Buenaflor, diba? After losing Dongo from the previous season, diba? So let's see how he meshes. I like how they're getting tons of forwards, diba? When you play for Pido Horencio, you have to have a ton of forwards. And getting Buenaflor with Asido and Mark Lemit and all the others, it's giving early coaching career of Pido in the UAAP vibe. So let's see how they do come season 88. But I'm excited. This guy has a lot of size. If he can transition to a small forward shooting guard role, then maybe he could be part of Gilas in the future. So I'm happy for UST.
Sammy.
Agree with Mau. Wow ako dito. It was a happy surprise because they got their star player. Sabi nga ni Maui, from versus last year where we were expecting Dungo would be a perfect fit for UST, a rebuilding UST with San Miguel as part of their backer, pero he decided to go to La Salle. So I think it's a good surprise for UST na their star player and their other seniors from the juniors division decided to join UST. Admittedly, I did not get to watch a lot of any juniors basketball last season. Masigab yung may alam nito, but I do know si Buenaflor is the main attraction from this list of players. Good point from Maui then, no? It's really like building that juniors division, and actually it's really starting to look a lot like the seniors division kasi now they're adding like their FSAs as early as the juniors division, like si Collins Akowe, si Kane o si Kane, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Racine
Kane. So it's starting to look like the seniors division. That's a good, I would say that's a good thing. Like really starting them young, developing them in high school. So I think it's a good surprise for you. Good surprise for UST. This is really building for the future then, because the top 2 stars will be out after the season. So who will be the main guy after the season? At least they now have like Asido, Buenaflor, 2 guys that could take over for the next batch of UST players. So big win for UST.
Ako, mas shocked ako sa inyong dalawa. Ako, I'm a wow for this. Mainly because of Koji Buenaflor. Because I've been hearing and reading that a lot of teams wanted this guy. Because who doesn't, man? 6'7" guy, can guard multiple positions, can protect the rim, can handle the ball, can score in multiple ways, has an outside shot. And there was also a bit of news that his head coach from the juniors rank, si Manu Inigo, was hired by, I think, Benilde, diba?
Yes.
So
Sa
I was
NCAA
thinking,
yata.
wow, is Charles Chu gunning for Koji Buenaflor and some of these UST Tiger Cubs? So you mentioned kinakabahan ako for UST if they could actually get Buenaflor. So when they actually announced na si Koji Buenaflor is going to UST for college, I'm like, wow, okay. They got a good piece here. A good young player, good height, good length. And I think he's going to play some minutes because we talk about the front court depth of UST for the upcoming season. It's Peter Osang, for now. It's Jello Crisostomo. And then, who's next? It's Zayn Mahmoud, Eko Laure. So, there are some spots
that's a good point. Yeah.
open, especially at power forward, right behind Jello Crisostomo. I think Buenaflor or a guy like si Alfred Loreto, who I'm very thankful that he's back playing. I mean, again, he had brain surgery to get rid of a pituitary macroadenoma. So, brain tumor. So, again, I'm happy he's back playing. I think he's the best friend also of Koji. So, I'm happy that they got it. That UST yung got these guys. And I think Buenaflor can play some rotation minutes. Actually, I will not be shocked if maybe at some point in season 8-8, he's suddenly starting ahead of Jello Crisostomo. I will not be shocked. I think that this guy is really talented. He was highly coveted by other schools. Si Caden Valdez, again, as with all Phil Foreign players now, I will not judge him until I see him. I will not be excited. I will not be disappointed. I will just be even-keeled.
Natuto na tayo.
Natuto na tayo. Ayoko na. Natuto tayo kay Alex Konov. We made an entire episode about him. did not play. I think he played less than 10 minutes combined for the entire season. We're not doing this. Not anymore. Not here on Boleros. We're gonna see first. We're gonna see him first. So, saka na muna yung Kaden Valdez. You might, I'm sure you're a good guy, but we're not gonna hype you up. Not here on Boleros. Not yet. Okay? So, for the other guys, they play mostly on the perimeter. So, I think UST's perimeter rotation is pretty set. No, guys like si Patricao, Cabanero, Paranada, Liemit, Danting, Jeremy Robinson, Asido, ang dami. They have so many new perimeter guys. I don't think any of these guys are gonna crack the rotation for this upcoming season. Si Buena Flor is someone who I think can actually crack the rotation and play some minutes for UST. That's it. Any last words, guys, before we get out of here?
Pinoy Liga started. We talked about it. So if you haven't seen that previous episode, check out our Pinoy Liga preview. Yun lang naman.
Oh, wait for Collins ako eh. Hindi pa raw siya committed sa NU, pero
Oo nga pala.
nasa lineup siya.
Sa lineup siya. Pero hindi pa daw
You cannot
siya.
trust-
Omar John.
We cannot trust the lineup.
We cannot trust the lineup, but Omar John has been playing out of his mind. He played a heck of a game yesterday. So
Iba pag may chip
shout
on
out
the
to you.
shoulder.
Shout out to Omar John.
Shout out to Omar John. He's been balling.
He's
I
been
think
balling.
He's ready to
Making
take
a
over the
name for
reins.
himself.
Yeah, he's taking over again of that FSA stat. But that's it. Thank you for listening again to Boleros. It's been a while. A lot of preseason games are coming. We're definitely gonna talk about them. But till then, see ya.